Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're gonna be doing a bunch of stuff to the E36, but first, coffee stop. Today we're gonna be installing this coilover setup on my 318i BMW. It's the non-M E36. We also got a brand new wheel and tire setup, and we got the reinforcement plates for the suspension itself. Let's get into it. Obviously, this is not stock suspension. This was on the car before I got it. So we're gonna go ahead and remove the more important bolts. This is the main strut bolt. And then you have one bolt right here. And there's another one on the other side, right over here. Alrighty guys, now with that top bolt removed, I went ahead and loosened the bottom bolts as well, right here. But what I'm gonna go ahead and do is support it with this jack. I'm gonna support the brake caliper up just to make sure everything stays in that same position. So when I unmount it, this thing doesn't try to force anything down and give me a hard time. Pretty much on this coilover setup, we're gonna go ahead and remove these nuts and toss on our reinforcement plate. And as well, for the nuts that mounted at the bottom, the two identical ones, we're gonna be replacing those with brand new ones. We will have to reuse this top one for now. I thought I had ordered the right one. It was the wrong side, but no worries. We're gonna go ahead and do it anyway, just like that. This is called a strut tower reinforcement plate. That's the proper name for them. You guys can look them up. They're very beneficial, especially if you're gonna be putting your car through a lot more harder driving conditions than a regular day-to-day. But we're gonna be running them on ours. We're gonna go ahead and mount it up. There shouldn't be much fitment issues, given ECS has taken into mind, you know, that people do run these plates a lot on E36s. So they've gone ahead and used the coilover setup to where none of this is really in the way. So I did want to mention before I throw this up there, this camber plate is supposed to be facing towards the motor. So just lateral to the front of the car. So this is a car, right? And that's how the camber plate should sit. It does matter a lot, especially with if you're gonna be messing around with the camber. Thing to note whenever you're doing this, these are universal for M3 and non-M3 from ECS tuning. This bracket, however, will get in the way of all the wires and cables if it's not on the right side. So the way to avoid that, this bracket needs to be on the front side of the car. We're gonna have to use the other one like this. So when mounted, the brake caliper's on the back and this is on the opposite end, aka the front of the car. Now I'm mounting everything back up. So guys, we went ahead and measured the distance right here of the coilover and locked it all into place. This is now at 2 1/4 from bottom ring to the top of this ring. And the spring rate itself, we matched it off of the one that was tight. Most of these tend to come preloaded from the manufacturer already. So try not to mess with the pre-rate, which is with these two rings, unless you absolutely have to. Like mine was loose, so I ended up just tightening it up and just, you know, going off of the one that was already tightened and already preload. So we'll go ahead and replicate the same thing on the other side. We're gonna go ahead and reattach these, pop on the wheel so you guys can see how the new setup looks, and we'll go ahead and move on to the driver's side. We're gonna go ahead and remove the jack stands and start to lower it. That's why you wear gloves, kids. Mine were on. I just took them off just now.
Well, look at the size of the bumper too. The fucking lip and everything is different.
Vlog status.
Vlog status. You guys are following me around.
Mm-hmm.
What's that? I was sure already broke it. Oh, dude, that shit's gonna have to come way on. It's PVC, what do you expect?
It's what?
It's PVC, what do you expect?
They said BBC. I was like, what?
That's what you like in your ways. And just so you guys know, the damper adjustments were set to 16 clicks. So this has 32 ways is what they call it. I mean, 32 clicks on how much adjustment you could go from soft to stiff, and I just put it right in between. So not too stiff, not too soft. It's gonna be perfect, baby. And we went ahead and also adjusted from the top of the ring to the bottom of the ring on the coilovers. We went ahead and measured it out to 3 and 3.5 inches from bottom of one ring to the top of the other in between the coilover. That's the spacing, and that's how we got about, I'd say about 1 inch to 1.25 inches of a fender gap, which is what I want. I don't want to be rubbing or scrubbing. On to the back. Alrighty, so we've removed the wheels and tires. We're gonna go ahead and start with this strut bolt right here, that bolt right there, and go ahead and remove the strut itself. Gary is up in here removing the bolts for the speaker, or the screws, should I say. We have to get these speakers out in order to remove this carpet liner, and the strut bolts sit right on this mount right here, right underneath the speaker. We moved the carpet aside, we moved this insulation right underneath it, and we're gonna go ahead and get these two, I believe they're 13mm bolts off, and then we'll go ahead and remove the full strut assembly. What? Yes, sir. All right, there she is, right there. If you kids don't have a drill, I recommend getting yourself one. Makes life a lot easier. Is out. All right. So be careful, because these things will fall out. And drop one off camera by accident, but totally fine. I'm gonna go ahead and unscrew these to about halfway, give or take, and lock the rings in place. And then I'll go ahead and get this one installed and that one removed. And I don't know if this will fit. That doesn't even have space to fit the grommet. Yeah, no, it's not supposed to have it. It's fine. No, drop it. I'll tell you where to stop it, because we have to adjust this according to this height.
Explain what's going on the camera.
Yeah, I'm looking for a strut tower reinforcement plate. It's a pack of 2. I thought I had it outside, but I can't find it right now. So we're just gonna take a brief pause to look for it.
Oh. Look, I'm not like my mom and shit.
What?
She's like, tráeme esto, ahí está encima, blah, blah, blah. And you go, look, it's not there.
I'm just making sure the trailing arm, that this is not hitting the body when this is bottoming out. So this needs to bottom out before, see these plates right here? It needs to bottom out before this does. So even when we put this on, we'll have to jack it all the way up, and that's called a bump stop. So as long as the bump stop hits before that trailing arm does, we'll be fine with everything else. 1 3/8. So we just finished up the driver's side rear. I think it's gonna sit perfectly, honestly. We're gonna go ahead and throw on the passenger side rear. As soon as we're done with that, we'll get a video in of how they sit, and that should be a wrap for the day. There you guys have it. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. Shout out to my boy Gary for helping me out. Greatly appreciate it. His real name's Alexis, a childhood friend of mine. This video was filmed a little less than a year ago. We had such a great time doing it, and you know, I highly recommend the ECS tuning coilover setup. It didn't come with instructions, and it was still a breeze to install. I feel like they took a lot into consideration when building this coilover setup. So I'll leave a link down in the description below to their page and the parts that I threw on there. Definitely highly recommend after driving it for about 8 to 9 months, give or take. But nonetheless, great quality stuff. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. I truly do appreciate it. Like, comment, do whatever you want to do. You know, you're at your own free will. I still greatly appreciate the time you took to watch this video today. Until next time, guys, keep it real. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.